Police and fire departments across the country are investigating some of their members who may have participated in the Capitol violence. Off-duty members of the Seattle Police Department, Philadelphia Police Department, and New York Fire Department, just some of those under investigation. Meantime, new acting chief of Capitol Police, Yogananda Pittman, released a statement that said several officers have been suspended pending the outcome of their investigation. With only 9 days remaining until President-elect Joe Biden is inaugurated, law enforcement significantly ramping up security in the Washington, D.C. area in an effort to prevent the kind of violence seen at the Capitol last week. State capitals also undergoing similar security upgrades after the FBI warned of the potential of armed protests in all 50 states in the lead-up to the inauguration. Meantime, President Trump has approved an emergency declaration for D.C. in the aftermath of the deadly riots. News Nation correspondent Michael Schur live in D.C. for us tonight with a closer look at the preparations that are underway there and actually across the country as well. Michael?
Yeah, that's exactly right. Let's talk first about across the street, Joe, where the U.S. Capitol behind me, and then over here you see a fence that's just going around the building and around the grounds. You'll see maybe a few members of the National Guard that are underneath there. They erected that non-scalable fence just days ago in order to protect these grounds from the type of activity that happened last week, but also you have the 59th presidential inauguration coming up, and there are all sorts of threats to that, as we've discussed. And just to give you an idea, you know, a January night in Washington, you're not going to see a ton of people out around here, but you have the Capitol behind me. For those who haven't been here, the Library of Congress is right there. The Supreme Court is right there, stone's throw from where I'm standing. And the most important part of this is that the National Guard is showing a presence here, and they're going to show a presence of nearly 15,000 by the time the inauguration happens. The city of Washington trying to make sure that everything is in place. You mentioned what the president did. Muriel Bowser, the mayor of Washington today, was talking about the security threats here and how she wants to make sure that people don't just come to Washington, D.C. Here's the mayor earlier today.
Now, of course, we are all focused on preparing for the upcoming presidential inauguration. Our goals right now are to encourage Americans to participate virtually and to protect the District of Columbia from a repeat of the violent insurrection experienced at the Capitol and its grounds on January the 6th.
Let's talk briefly about what that pre-emergency declaration that the mayor asked of the president and the president just this evening granted. What it does is it puts the Federal Emergency Management Agency on alert. It also puts the Department of Homeland Security on alert. So it's a different kind of alert that you would have. Washington, D.C. right now, with no emergency scene, is in a state of emergency. So that's what the pre is all about there. You should also know that the city of Washington is under a national special event, a security event for the inauguration next week, which means that the lead law enforcement agency there is the Secret Service. And that was the last thing that Chad Wolf did before he stepped down as Director of Homeland Security. And then tonight, they're looking at a closure of some of the monuments in this city, which is the Washington Monument especially. Jeffrey Reinbold with the national parks here has said that there are credible threats against visitors and against the ground, so tours have been suspended at the Washington Monument until the 24th of January. These are unusual times here in this city, and most especially it's unusual because you have the FBI investigating those threats over the weekend of armed far-right extremists on all 50 state capitals from Honolulu to Augusta. These are really trying times, but everybody here, again, we talked about it earlier, if anything came out of the horrors that happened across the street last week, it's a level of readiness that maybe the Capitol Police and the National Guard are now up to that they weren't perhaps last week. Joe?